Hello and welcome to this presentation about our BSc Honours Speech and Language Pathology program. My name is Maria Kearney and I'm the program leader of this program for now. And before we properly start with this presentation, I want to give you a bit of a taste of speech and language therapy. So the strange symbols that you see here are symbols from the International Phonetics alphabet. This alphabet is a method to write down exactly what you hear, the exact speech sounds, in the way that they are pronounced. And as speech and language therapists, we use this to get an accurate representation of the speech abilities of the people that we're helping. There is no other clinical profession that is trained in transcription. So now I encourage you to pause this video and using the information in this riddle, try to transcribe the words speech and language therapy using the International Phonetics alphabet symbols. Okay, and here you should be able to see the answer show up. Did you get any of the parts right? So this is a little taster of some of the more playful approaches to learning that you can experience on our program. As speech and language therapists, our job is to support communication, and communication itself is a pretty amazing process. When you talk to another person, it's almost like solving a puzzle of the kind that you just solved. You use your vocabulary and grammar and also articulation, so how you pronounce the words with your mouth and your tongue, to construct questions and ask each other questions. Exchange information. You use the pitch of your voice or how high or low your voice gets to convey whether your message is a question or whether you're asserting an opinion. And also you can assert the strength of your opinion just with the pitch of your voice as well, or you can signal agreement as well. You use your problem-solving skills and abstract thinking to reach solutions and actually understand what the other person is saying to you and also deciding how to answer. So you can see it's a pretty complicated process. As speech and language therapists, we also support people who have difficulties with eating, drinking, and swallowing. Swallowing is amazing, and I want you to take a moment to appreciate that. For example, when you last had your lunch, you used a variety of cranial nerves, and these are nerves that start in your brain and reach different parts of the body and command them to move. So for example, they would make your lips, jaw, and tongue and teeth move together to chew and break down the food that you put in your mouth during lunch. Your airway was also protected so that your lunch doesn't go the wrong way. And also this is done thanks to the work of the cranial nerves. Finally, your throat will have squeezed the food that you chewed down through your food pipe and into your stomach. And you see how amazing this and how complicated this process actually is. At Strathclyde, our job is to help you learn more what to do when communication and swallowing are not so easy. So why would you choose to study speech and language therapy at Strathclyde University? First of all, our program has been approved by the HCPC. This is the Health and Care Professions Council, and it has been accredited by the Royal College of Speech and Language Therapists. This is our professional body. This means that at the end of your studies, you are eligible to register with the HCPC as a qualified speech and language therapist. Also, this is one of the oldest programs of speech and language therapy in Britain and therefore arguably in the world as well. This is because the program was founded by Dr. Anne McAllister in 1935, which is 90 years ago as of this recording. Another reason you might be drawn to our program specifically is that we have an active research department who work with the teaching team to advance the field, promote the profession, and raise awareness of different disorders, and also contribute to policy changes. Our researchers do research in pediatric and adult groups, they develop new treatments, and students learn about these cutting-edge developments straight from the horse's mouth. So the people who are developing the research are also teaching you. We have also Strath Speeches. This is our student society, which is an enthusiastic group who organize social and fundraising events and help students socialize outside of the program as well. In 2024, our students founded the British Sign Language Society at Strathclyde University, and they won the award for Best Rising Star among our university societies. They also offer a lot of socials and also bring in instructors in British Sign Language. So students who decide to join the society can learn some British Sign Language as well. There are other reasons you might be interested in studying speech language therapy at Strathclyde, and one of them that our team is continually recognized as excellent teachers at the annual student-led awards, and recently a member of our team won the Strathclyde Medal for her innovation by using virtual reality in supporting students before going on placement. The majority of our staff are also qualified speech and language therapists, and they're subject specialists. On the course, you will also be taught by experts that we invite to come and deliver specialist lectures. These are professionals from across the NHS, but we also invite colleagues from other departments within the university to provide specialist teaching. Also, it's worth noting that Strathclyde Speech and Language Therapy is third in the UK in 2026, according to the Complete University Guide. And the speech and language therapy research that we conduct here is also ranked first in the UK in 2026, according to the Complete University Guide. Not just the program, but the university is pretty excellent as well. The University of Strathclyde was recognised as the UK University of the Year for 2026 by the Daily Mail University Guide. It was also recognised as the Scottish University Year by the Times and Sunday Times Good University Guide. And we have also been winning awards such as the Queen Anniversary Prize and the UK University of the Year in past years as well. In addition to that, we are located in the heart of Glasgow. Our campus and the main buildings that you're going to be studying in are very centrally located, very close to transportation links and all that Glasgow has to offer to our students in terms of social life and life outside of university. So now I'm going to tell you a little bit about our course, how it's structured, what placements we offer, and some experiences from our students as well. So what can you expect when you're studying on our program? You'll be learning about biomedical sciences, linguistics and phonetics, psychology, communication difficulties and disorders. And I will tell you a little bit more about how all of these topics are structured across the 4 years of our program over the next few slides. The timetable for our program varies. However, we do expect 40 hours per week to be dedicated to the program. This is in combination of self-study or in-person activities on campus. Most activities, most weeks, at least one day might be away on a placement, but I'll tell you a little bit more about placements in a bit. The assignments that you can expect are quite varied. We align them with our professional skills and academic skills that students need to develop. And they are quite a different variety. So not just your plain old exams in an exam room. We also have written assignments and presentations, some oral or written exams, clinical skills tests, and more. Sometimes we also invite actors to play the roles of patients that you might need to communicate with as well for an assessment. We communicate with students on the course through updates on our virtual learning environment called MyPlace, and also by email. There are support services provided by the university, but also within our team, we have some support structures available as well. This is a year tutor. So this is a tutor who is there to speak to the students within one year group. And we also have a peer mentoring scheme for all our first year students. So coming in on the program as a first year, you can sign up for this program and be assigned a peer mentor. We also have strong links to the Disability and Wellbeing Service, and we have a named disability coordinator within our team as well. We always try to improve our program, so we try to constantly stay in touch with our students and what they feel about the program. We do that mainly through communication through the year tutor. For example, we have meetings each semester where the student class representatives meet the year tutor and share feedback about the program. We also communicate back to the students how we have taken their feedback into consideration through the format you said we did. And in terms of exams, you might expect to have the exam sessions during December and also April, May for the spring session, with other assignments submitted throughout the year. We also have a resit period during August when students who have failed any exams during the semester can retake them. We offer a study abroad opportunity for our fourth year students to the University of San Diego. And this is an exchange opportunity, so also most years we welcome students from San Diego coming into our second year program, where you might meet students who are from abroad coming in just for the semester, so you can get a different perspective and meet new people as well. On the screen here, you can see a summary of the structure of our program. We offer a 4-year course, but we're continually revising and improving it. This teaching provides training of reflective, practical, and research skills from the very beginning. We have a strong focus on employability and encourage the development of transferable skills. You can see on the screen we offer fundamental modules during first year that support the students during non-clinical observations, where students learn about typical developing and typical aging. Our clinical professional capabilities modules run every year, and this is where the university teaching supports clinical skills that are needed on placements. And in this way, we also link theory to practice. In second year and also third year, students start to learn more in depth about communication and swallowing difficulties, moving beyond the fundamental topics that we cover in first year. During second year, there is also a big interactive event with education and social work with special guests from local third sector organization. This provides our students opportunities for interprofessional learning with other healthcare students. And finally, in fourth year, students really get to apply their research investigation skills, which have been scaffolded throughout the previous 3 years of the program as well. The course structure is quite varied in terms of how we deliver our teaching. We do include a lot of whole class teaching, which you might expect, but within those classes there might be frequently the use of smaller group work, so you'd be working more closely with your peers. We also offer workshops and practical classes focusing on specific clinical skills, for example, counseling skills or using specific assessments. And in our final year, we also offer individual and group tutorials for supporting you with your dissertation writing. So this is when we expect also to see more independence in your learning as well in your final year. So as you can see from all of this group work, we expect students to be using their communication skills and socializing in group work throughout the whole program. On the screen here, you can see some social media posts from our students from a class on augmentative and alternative communication, or AAC, with an AAC specialist. And here you can see a mix of high-tech and low-tech communication tools being used by the students. Throughout the program, students also hear directly from people with lived experience of speech, language, and communication needs, or SLCN. We invite guests, sometimes from the Stroke Association or Alzheimer's Scotland. Students have also regularly celebrate Stammer and Pride. If you pause the video right now, you can read the testimonials from the students. So now let's talk about placements, which is a topic that most offer holders are very interested in. On the screen, you see the structure of placements and how many placements and what placements we offer throughout each year. In year one, students have observations in care homes, nurseries, and primary schools, as well as a 4-day clinical speech language therapy placement at the end of semester 2. In year 2, we offer a placement which is 2 days a week for 8 weeks. There's a similar structure in year 3, students going for a similar amount of time on their main placement. But also we are one of the only programs in the UK offering a dedicated placement for developing eating, drinking, and swallowing support skills for our students. And this is during their clinical dysphagia placement at the end of 3rd year. Finally, in year 4, students have their longest placement to that date, which is for 2 days a week for 10 weeks. And in addition to that, there is an opportunity to complete an impact project that I'll tell you a little bit more about in a minute. And you can see a quote from a student about placements on the screen here. Placements tend to be one of the favorite experiences of our students. Students go to placements in many different settings. These can be hospitals, schools, community clinics, sometimes even prisons, which are quite special placements as well. There are opportunities for students to work with varied client groups. So that would be adults and children, people with neurological difficulties, voice or fluency difficulties as well. And there is a new development on the program where we have a module which encourages students to source their own usually non-clinical project with an independent organization or a staff member from the University of Strathclyde. This helps students increase their employability and transferable skills. Last year, we had 2 students work with the Royal College of Speech and Language Therapists, which is our professional body, and they helped develop the VoiceBox 2025 campaign. And you can see on the screen a post from the newsletter of the Royal College talking about the fantastic job that our students did here. We are keen to support our students on placement, and there are multiple ways through which we do that. We offer clinical learning in our on-campus teaching, as I mentioned earlier, through our clinical professional capabilities modules, which run from the beginning until the end of the program. Something that is also quite special about our program is that we have clinical tutors. So these are additional speech and language therapists, not the ones who support you directly on placement. They're additional speech and language therapists independent of the placement that you can talk to about your goals and how to develop them. These clinical tutors offer individual and group tutorials for placement support for our students as well. We expect our students to develop their skills gradually throughout the course and moving towards independence and independent competency across the 4 years and towards the end of the program. In terms of career paths and opportunities from our program, we support our students to become qualified speech and language therapists, and as such, you're most likely to be working in the NHS. However, you might also be able to develop a career in a different setting. So that could be an independent speech and language therapy practice. You might start your own independent practice as a speech and language therapist if that's what you're interested in. You might work directly with a school or a third sector organization as a speech and language therapist as well. We support our students throughout the program to develop clinically specific skills, but also some transferable skills. And as I mentioned before, we have our impact project module, which is also a student favorite one, where you source your own project with an external organization, and you get to develop the skills that you really want to further develop. So this could be your communication or teamwork skills, project management, leadership, or confidential data management. All of these are skills you will inherently be already developing throughout the program. At the end of the program, you might also be more interested in pursuing research, and there are certainly further opportunities to do that within Strathclyde. As I mentioned earlier, you are taught by researchers as well, so people who are currently leading cutting edge developments within the scientific field. So for example, developing different speech and language therapy treatments. And if you want to continue and focus more on the research aspect of your career, there is also Springboard for doing that at Strathclyde. We have a master's in research in speech and language sciences, and also an opportunity to do a PhD as well, if that's what you're interested in. So if you have interest in that, you can always talk to people in the program about future research opportunities. And we have now reached the end of this presentation about the speech and language therapy program. You have been sent additional videos from our student society and another student expressing her experience from the program as well. Feel free to get in touch with us. My name is Maria Kearney, and you can contact me via the email that you can see on screen. We have an dedicated admissions tutor who is Carolyn Allen. So if you want to ask a nitty-gritty question about admissions, you can get in touch with her also. If you have questions about your specific offer, there is another email about that on the screen that you can use. And if you want to catch up with our student societies or program on social media, you can see the corresponding handles for that as well on the screen. Thank you for paying attention to this presentation, and please don't hesitate to get in touch if you have any questions.